Alright guys, 13th December, let's go over some charts. So EMH, let's look at that one first. So EMH, I've just been boxing it out using these Davis boxes basically just to show how this stock's been moving. I think it suits his stock, the way it's been jumping from box to box. But we see here it's been forming this symmetrical triangle between 80 cents and about 72 cent range, 73 cents thereabouts, forming this symmetrical triangle within it, and it looks to be breaking out over here. So 82 cents. We look at how the lithium sector in Europe's been moving. We look at VUL and INF. I think it's pretty clear that EMH, it just makes sense that it's going to move. For where its market cap is, and we've got Elon Musk, so he's going to build the world's biggest battery gigafactory in Berlin, and EMH is only 2.5 hours away from it. Still undervalued, so we're seeing this sort of movement now. I won't be surprised if it breaks clear out of this box over the next couple of days. But we'll wait and see anyway, waiting for a clear break. To me, EMH is a buy here at these levels. The sell would be if it broke below this box, if it broke below 73 cents. But I don't see that happening. I see it as a buy now, and if it breaks here with some kind of strong volume, then it makes it a strong buy, okay? So that's EMH. Let's look at its friend there in Spain, INF. So it broke out from 10-11 cents. It got as high as 17 cents, where it would have been a nice sell as a trade. But if I just zoom in, this is on a daily chart. I might just let's go to say 4 hourly. See what kind of sense it makes here. And I do think this is a type of a bull flag that we're seeing here. We're seeing the volume dropping off, and it just looks to be consolidating around, like 14, 15 cents. And this stock just seems undervalued compared to VUL and EMH. So INF, I think, is a buy at around these levels. I'd probably look to sell if it broke below this trend line abruptly. Take some profits there, but I think it's unlikely. I think INF, this is a bull flag. I think it's going to continue to break, and it could be a significant move too. We look at the length of that flagpole here. We go back to daily. That's a decent flagpole since the breakout. That's 6 cents. So from here, say, I think it could move to 20 cents, 19, 20 cents. Something in that ballpark there, especially if some news comes out shortly for it. But let's look at the main mover in that sector there. Let's look at VUL. VUL's just going nuts. Okay, so again, a Davis box here, symmetrical triangle. We've seen this happen twice now. VUL. We look here. Here was a nice pennant there. It looked like it was going to break above. It didn't. Failed. Boom, come back up with a vengeance. Broke above. That at the time was an all-time high. And it just went. It went from, that was $1.40. And it just kept on moving just over a course of days, getting as high as $2.50. Around there. Another pennant formed. This here being the Davis box. To me, VUL, I was considering selling if it was going to break below. I was looking at selling here, so I had my finger on the trigger. But I didn't sell it. When I saw these long shadows here on these candles, I just waited a little bit longer, and I'm glad I did, because now it broke above that box. And again, judging by the length of the flagpole before that pennant, I forget what the measured move is, but I think it's about 80 cents, $1. It could go from about here, so I think it could go to about $3.10, $3.30. I wouldn't be surprised the way this stock's been behaving. And the EU recently announced that by 2027 they'll be finding, or banning rather, batteries which are not made with a carbon-friendly footprint in its manufacture. So that really favours VUL. And the announcement was made right in this candle here, which that's pretty much a Moro Bozu candle, where it basically opens low, there's hardly any shadow. The true one, there's no shadow, and then it just closes on the high. So that's a very convincing bullish candle there. So that VUL still a buy. I'd still have no hesitations in buying VUL. right here. Let's look at LTR. LTR. Okay, so LTR has been awesome. It's just been looking great for a long time. Yeah, we look right back when it was 4 cents when I first got in. You know, I wish I bought heaps more at 4 cents, but you know, they drilled up Kathleen Valley. They proved it up. Unfortunately, it's during a lithium sector downtrend. Proved up a great resource. Crash came. They proved it up to the 156 million tons at 1.4% here. Crash come in. Lithium's come out of the crash. Sector sentiment improved, but then it was like this excitement of the Mora project just started really kicking in lately. You know, they've been talking about it more and more in their presentations. Really good surface results. We've been looking over at CHN, over at Julimar, where it's gone from 30 cents to over $4, and they think this deposit, you know, relatively nearby could be something similar. But looking at the share price, so this internal trend line here pretty much stuck to, like, you know, like glue. Broke above this trend line here from this pennant, and I was saying from this little flag here, I was saying that I think it'd close at about 29.5 cents or 30 cents pretty shortly, but it did even better than that. Similar kind of candle like what we had over at VUL, and it just spiked right up to 31.5 cents, and it's consolidated above there, retesting what was a former uptrending channel it was in as support. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They just announced that they've commenced drilling. They stuck up some photos. They put up some photos of them drilling more, and you know, I think the immediate exploration upside on Mora could be pretty significant, especially with Kathleen Valley in the bag now. Really good metrics. They came out with a DFS. I think it was around here, improvised DFS, and again, it just, you know, it was great for the share price. So the next target, I think we'll be looking at this sort of this overhead trend line here, which that'll push around to about 30, 37, 38, 40 cents. I think it could be hitting around there. But we've got to wait and see what happens here first. Okay, let's look at ADN. ADN. So my pullback target for ADN was 23.5 cents. It got as low as 24, so I was close. That was the measured move off of this ascending scholar, where I simply just added the depth of this little cup here, put it there, and about here was my target, plus this form overhead resistance trend line there, which now it didn't even need to have to support. It looks like, you know, we've got a trend reversal. It looks like it's uptrending here. We had a nice, I think it was like a 16% increase here on this day. So ADN looks like it could be in a short-term trend reversal, trending back upwards again. Don't hold it, so I don't really have a sentiment on that one, but I do think it's a good stock. VML is the one that I sold out of CTM looking for a breakout. Thing with VML, so, you know, I bought it here, probably a bit premature, considering the volume was, you know, a bit too low. I was thinking it may be. It's kind of second guessing myself on this move, but I'm willing to be patient a week or two. But it broke below this trend line here, this channel, where I was hoping it would break through here, which it didn't. But nonetheless, you know, I think it will retest it. I think it's undervalued, a great resource, and a really good team. And I think rare earths, it has its advantages right now. So I'm going to hold on to VML. My stop loss is about 3.2 cents. I'll be getting out of VML if need be, but I'm waiting for it to break through this 4 cent overhead resistance, because I'm seeing a nice cup and handle on this one. If this goes, it could go to 5-7 cents quite easily, I think. Okay, let's look next at NVA. So unfortunately, NVA has been getting punished since its recent capital raise at 17 cents. Around here, the share price was right up here when they announced it. It was on a tear. They announced it, and of course it dropped. So a lot of profit takers selling their shares that they bought at 17 cents when it was up at, you know, 22, 23, immediate profit. But now that it's hitting this kind of support zone here at 15, 16, you could probably expect the sell pressure to drop off, because those who received their share placement at the 17 cents, or the anticipation of it to fall back there is dissipated, and there is strong news flow coming. But if it doesn't hold this support zone, I'd expect the next one to be 12.5 cents. That's fucking bargain at that price. I just think here, because of the way it's, you know, there's a gap in buying, you know, and I guess density from 12.5 to 16 cents. So I wouldn't be surprised if it were to come back down the same way, but I'd first expect here to hold. I think this is the unlikely scenario, okay? But NVA to me remains a buy. I believe in the project very strongly. CTM. CTM, I was talking about this on the last video. I was talking about how it was uptrending and how I would not be surprised if it broke above this overhead resistance on this uptrending channel here, which is now done. Now it's at 66.5 cents. You know, it won't take much here, and it will be at highs, you know, 52-week highs. There's not much in the way of overhead resistance here in waiting sellers from recent time. So, you know, I don't think it will take much at all. And we're seeing the volume spiking up again. So CTM is again looking good. It was uptrending slowly, but, you know, since last 5-6 weeks, that's been a good looking stock, I think.